This is a 97 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. It's a ZJ, Zebra Johnny chassis with a 5.2 liter V8 motor. And this is a pretty well preserved specimen. The car is in the shop because of this check engine light. The scan tool says it's this P0132 and it describes it as left bank upstream sensor, but you can disregard left bank. This has only one upstream O2 sensor. If you look under the hood, the O2 sensors are nowhere to be seen. It's because they must be accessed from underneath. P0132 refers to the upstream sensor, and this sensor is located to the side of the transmission. Right here is where it goes in, and its connector, you need to have very small hands to reach upwards and disconnect it. On some cars, Jeep is one of them, you run into a problem if you replace just the upstream sensor and not the downstream sensor, so we replace both of them. The downstream sensor location is just on the rear of the catalytic converter. The brand of sensor that is recommended for use with the Jeep is NTK, and believe it or not, these cars are finicky when it comes to the brand. And one of these part numbers is the upstream sensor, the other is the downstream sensor, and there's just a small difference in the connector and how it mounts to the chassis. But look for these part numbers in the video description. The tool I use is this O2 sensor socket, and there's just barely enough room to fit this tool on the front sensor. And I'll include a link to this in the video description. This is to show you how I fit the O2 sensor socket on and how I go about tightening it. And here's a view of the rear O2 sensor or downstream sensor. It's a lot easier to access, but just be very careful not to cross thread this one. So start the threading of the sensor into the catalytic converter very slowly by hand and make sure that the threads are lined up correctly. And here's a view of how the downstream sensor connects and how it mounts to the chassis. It has a little mounting stud underneath. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and find it useful.